I was really excited to bring you on because we saw everything that happened at UCLA. We saw some of the hours that protesters were subject to, Zionist mobs effectively. And it was like, where the fuck are the, where's the cops? Where are the administrators? And a large part, this mass movement was allowed to be brutalized. And grad students are saying, no, there needs to be some atonement for this behavior. Tell me about UAW Local 481. Who do you all represent, and why did you guys decide to take action?
Yeah, for sure. Let me just start with the last part. We had to take action because we had no other choice. Local 4811 represents 48,000 academic workers at the University of California systems across 11 campuses, from academic researchers, postdocs, graduate student workers like myself, and also undergraduate workers. And we come together on the basis of wanting to fight for better working conditions. And one of the largest university systems, the largest employer, the largest landlord of the state of California, we come together to deploy our power to fight for what we know is ours, right? Like this university run because of our labor.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, we all had to witness, and for many of us firsthand, our university very clearly taking a side when it comes to protests and free speech on our campus. While there are many of us who have taken to the streets demanding an end to these genocides, it also had to happen in our campus. We've seen the largest anti-war movement across campuses in the US, and rightly so. And as we see that, the university's response was just shameful to watch. But I think as organizers in labor who have many times been at a dispute with the university fighting over our rights, we have seen them act in ways that always oppose the way that they talk about themselves in their websites, in their statements, right? If they stand for free inquiry, for free speech, for diversity, that's not what we saw in their actions.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody better equipped to respond to this moment than us, a labor union that is organized, that has been fighting for many years, and that understands that this is a crucial fight for our own existence. Like, how is a union supposed to exist if we don't have the right to protest on our own campus? It doesn't
Right.
make any sense.
Right. And if students are being brutalized or something is being misrepresented, and actually moreover, you know, um, the amount of censorship and the policing that I'm sure grad students who, are hoping to one day be professors, I mean, that line that is coming down on you all of, if you speak about Palestine, if you make space, let's say, I don't know, in a session or anything, if you discuss what is happening, that is anti-Semitic, right? That has been labeled. You will be doxxed. You will be reprimanded. You could be doxxed by, some very scary groups, and your university won't protect you either academically or physically from those kinds of attacks, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
heard?
and I think,
Yeah. Tell me,
oh, go
have you heard any of that from your membership? Like, I'm scared to touch this. I don't know what to do, or someone tried to out me or whatever for speaking on Palestine.
on a regular basis. Yeah, on a regular basis. And I think uh we understand that the perpetrators of violence, of physical violence in our campus, have been oftentimes outside agitators, but they
Mm-hmm.
get to do that because the university does not take any action, and in fact presents this picture that there were two sides peacefully protesting, and then some provocation started from, let's say, the encampment or from our workers. That's not true. That's a lie. That's inaccurate. And I think what's scariest about this moment is that, I guess the latest update on our strike is that the university has been contesting the legality of our ability to take this kind of collective action from the very first day that we authorized the strike through a vote. And they have been saying that it's illegal, sending out information, misinformation to our coworkers, saying that engaging in collective action like this strike is illegal. It's put this, like, atmosphere of fear, of retaliation, They don't have to say they stand against Palestine or against our ability to save for Palestine. They just have to say we do not condone your ability to engage in this strike. For all of our members to understand that they're not going to be protected in the classroom or even outside of the classroom when they have these conversations.
It's perfect. That's incredible. It's like, no, you can't do it. Like, we just did. Yeah, and actually, the update, a Schwarzenegger appointee, Judge Randall Sherman, issued a restraining order against UAW 4811. Sorry, I misspoke. Which is just like wild.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like just wild. And I know the UAW is vast, and there's actually some incredible, ceasefire, pro ceasefire locals and whatnot. But again, this is liberal ass. I mean, he is from the Orange County, but like liberal ass California, and it's like even the judicial system is weighing in here to silence you all. Can you just explain what the maybe respond to that, but also like what's the strike looking like? Is it I think it's rolling strikes, and how is it manifesting?
Yeah. So we are in a really interesting moment right now. So I guess I can give some context to this court it is not their place to weigh on the legality of our strike. There is a body that is empowered to look after this kind of labor dispute, the Public Employment Relations Board. And that's the body where the university went twice asking to join our strike, to pause our strike. Both times they were denied. Both times this body sided with us, with the workers. And so what the university did, what happened in Orange County at that judge has no business whatsoever at all issuing that restraining order against us, but they did. That in itself is a huge violation of our rights. That in itself is historic because it shows universities willing to break every law in the book under the name of legality to stop a strike. So we
I think it's
actually,
just ironic because, effectively a strike is a restraining order against yourself. You're like, we're already doing it. we're staying away from campus and we're not teaching, and that's effectively a restraining order. So, okay, judge.
yeah, and it is just bizarre because the basis of it is you have a no strike clause in your contract, so you can strike, but the contract also gives us the right to take this kind of action when severe and grave violations happen. Like the world saw, like it's not just an isolated event; the entire world saw the live stream of the brutality that we endure in our campus.
Yeah.
But effectively, it means that we actually had to pause our strike. Effectively, it means that we had to tell workers that engaging further in strike activity would potentially jeopardize their ability to stay employed, their
Wild.
ability to have any protections, any legal protections. Like, tell me how many more crimes has the university had committed in the last few weeks. I mean, the list is endless, but it doesn't mean that the fight stops. It just means that we're getting ready to enter this battle, this sustained battle, because we have the right to say free Palestine.
48,000 union members is not nothing. It's a sizable chunk, and to get a yes vote on a strike is huge. I like, lastly, was that difficult? Did that take a lot of, discussion, and how did that come about?
It was definitely unlike anything that we have done before.
Right.
The previous strike that we went on in 2022, when we were settling a contract for all the units that we represented, sincerely, it took 3 years to plan. There was 3 years of sustained organizing, one-on-one conversations, and teaching a bunch of young workers who have likely never been in a union, likely never been on strike, to understand why that kind of sacrifice is needed for us to win. And we won. We won big. So we were coming into this fight with that experience of just 2 years ago, and with that experience of the infrastructure that we had built. But to have done that in the course of 2 weeks was a test, was a huge test. The fact that it happened and the fact that it passed so successfully just reaffirmed that we were correct in reading the moment, right? We
Mm.
were correct in reading the fact that this is a labor issue that we needed to fight, right? There's many ways this could have gone, but that the fact that within just days and with very little time to explain the full story, our coworkers already knew that what happened was messed up and they were going to let that be the situation anymore. And so I think it's just a testament of the goodwill of workers when they're organized, when they're coming together. And it is also a testament that it is true that workers stand for peace and not the war machine. Like it was basically polling our coworkers, right? And like, which side are we on? And the side that we chose was the side of not letting the university speak for us or misrepresent us in their pursuit of violence, in their pursuit of excusing this genocide.
And I think it's massive. I mean, honestly, like we don't cover enough union fights on this show, but this one I think is massive because of how much the far right and how much the militarist, the military industrial complex and sort of, and I would say the Zionist lobby is hell bent on undermining higher education as a place, as a bastion of, so-called anti-Semitism and hatred of Israel and all these other unfounded things, and that is their inroad into the undoing of these higher learning institutions. And it is so incumbent upon students and grad students and workers on these universities to not buy this bullshit, like to stand up for themselves and the students and everybody else on the campuses, because nobody else is doing it. Nobody's doing it. And it's wild to see. So I support you. I salute you. Thank you so much for being on this show. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.